I made us all homework. Yes, you heard that right. I actually made all of us homework. Now, before you guys attack me, just hear me out, okay? At the very beginning of the year, like all the core staff, including Jeff, said that they wanted to get these homework problems pushed out to us. And, you know, obviously with the coronavirus outbreak, there wasn't really a lot of focus around 199 toward the end of the semester. And this kind of led toward the final project being worth the entire weight of our grade, which, you know, even though we're pass-fail class, it's not really that big of a deal. However, I thought it would be really interesting and really challenging to try to create a homework system for all of us. Granted, you know, there's only a week left in the semester, but if you stick with me, I'll actually show you guys how you can sign up on this project that I made and actually get to do those final homework assignments that you've all been dreaming of. So let's get right into it. The project that I chose to make is called kteach. It is an online Kotlin classroom. The idea is similar to that of Prairie Learn or other things that you're kind of used to, but I kind of wanted to create a new sort of approach that would already fit our current learning model. And I think that it's really flexible, it's very customizable, and it's something that I'm pretty darn proud of. So I'm gonna just kind of go over the basics and show you the basic UI and go over my kind of thought process while making this project. All right, well, here's the finished product. I say finished, but it's really just the final iteration of my prototyping phase for this. Right now I'm working on getting everything published to the web, so hopefully by the time this video is published, I'll have a public link for you guys to go and you can all explore this yourself. But this is just kind of like the bootstrap index.html page that I have. We have this little about page with the isometric, you know, artwork. But anyway, so the way that you access kteach is you create an account. I already have an account available. Accounts are only able to be created if you have a classroom code, which will be supplied to you by a teacher. I'll show you the teacher authentication in just a little bit, but you can go ahead and log in here, and then you have your assignments page with a assignment title, description, a link to view the assignment, and then a deadline. These are all just kind of like stereotypical things you have of an assignment. For any given assignment, you can view it, and then you have two button options. You can either download the assignment or you can upload your solution. For perilous palindromes, you know, this is really basic. It's just kind of a exercise to see if a string is a palindrome or not. You can go ahead and download this assignment, and, you know, Firefox automatically redirects you to this sort of, you know, text view. However, you'll notice that you can download this file as a Kotlin file and then download it to your computer, install it, you know, run it on IntelliJ, and then from there, once you're on IntelliJ, you can do all the testing yourself. Once you're ready to upload a solution, once you think you have something that's good enough to be uploaded, you can go ahead and upload your solution, and it'll actually run through an auto grader system that I made, and you'll get your results. So given how many test cases you code for this, you know, and depending on how well your solution is, you'll be graded differently. So for example, if I upload this other file that's not as good at this task of finding if a word is a palindrome, you'll fail some test cases. And yeah, you know, based on just prototyping alone, I think that this is a good, you know, finished product for students. Obviously, if a student completes an assignment, if they get that 100%, then they should not be able to see the assignment anymore. This is something that I have to work on. However, you know, you'll also notice that you have this logout button here. If you log out, you know, it just takes you back. And yeah, the other side to this that I wanted to show you all is the teacher console. So use the same login form that you would for students. But if you're a teacher, it'll redirect you to a different page. So here we go. I'm gonna pretend to be Jeff. Don't worry, identity theft is not a joke. However, you'll notice that for Jeff anyway, he has all of his classes to the left. Teachers can have multiple classes that they can manage, but students are right now only tied to just one class. And Jeff can view all of his classes here. So he has these assignments that he can create, edit, and delete. If I wanted to add an assignment, all I would have to have is the title. So I'm going to say example. This is an example. And you have two links that go here. You have the link to the problem file, and then you'll link to the testing file. So I'm just going to put, example here, and then example test, and then a deadline, arbitrary. We'll say, May 8th for no reason. You can go ahead and submit this form, and you'll notice that this has been created. If I log out of Jeff's account and go back into my student account, you'll notice that this assignment is now popped up on our feed, and we can go and do that assignment. Past the deadline, the assignment will disappear, and we can go ahead and change that assignment deadline if you wanted to. But, this is just kind of this, very prototypical, very easy to manage sort of homework, push, and receive application. Okay, so I didn't want to get too much into the code just because you guys have seen most of the functionality of the API from the front end, but I did really want to go over, how I'm actually able to compile the user's solution and return results. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to consider the multi-part request that comes in from the user. So when you click that upload button, two things come to the API, one of which is the file that the user is uploading, and the other of which is the URL to the testing file. One of the things that I wanted to make sure of in this project was that the problem and test files are hosted separately from the website, and that's just because all teachers kind of do storage of files differently, and all I wanted for them to worry about was just a reference to this file and not, where am I going to store it. So the first thing that happens is we get the file and the link to the testing file. We save those to the front end, and so we actually download the user's uploaded file to a particular directory, and we also download the testing directory file to that same directory. So, when a user submits a solution, a new directory is created under their student ID, and then their upload and their test file are put into that same folder. And then I run a series of scripts here, the first of which is just called compile.sh, which looks for all of the Kotlin files in that particular directory and compiles all of them using the Kotlin compiler. The second of which is called run, which literally just uses the Kotlin run command to run that jar file that was created. And then we have a clean script that removes all of these temporary directories and files, just so that, we don't want all of these files and uploads to stay on our server, otherwise we would be overrun with storage. So once we, use that run command, we store the output as a string, and we split that output based on the test cases and the actual numbers that the person received. So and those two numbers are just how many points the user was awarded out of how many total points were possible. And then we just respond a result containing those test cases and those numbers. And yeah, there you have it. That is my final project, kteach. One more thing I wanted to talk about is the registration form. I'm going to put the classroom code on screen, so all you guys out there can just go and create an account and actually play around with some of the assignments. They're in this kind of testing classroom. If something doesn't work, or if your computer catches fire, or if the upload wheel gets stuck spinning forever and eternity, just let me know, and I can just kind of fix those bugs. But I think that so far everything's working out pretty well. But yeah, this has been a really fun project to work on, and I especially loved the fact that I was able to take this class. I hope that more classes like this are kind of created in the future, and I hope that 199KT runs as well. I know that there's also the possibility of a TypeScript class like this in the future, which would be super fun. And yeah, I hope that, more people are able to kind of create their own homework assignments. Yeah, I didn't really want to reinvent the wheel. I know that Prairie Learn exists, and I know that there are these like phenomenal online compilation tools that we already use in this class, on the website. But this is just kind of my base project, and I was really excited that I was able to work on this, and I think it turned out pretty cool. So there you go. Yeah.